Since the start of the year, Turkish police have detained dozens of people suspected of working on behalf of Israel's foreign intelligence service, Mossad. Their espionage activities are reported to have included reconnaissance, surveillance, assault, and abduction on behalf of Israeli intelligence. The arrests come as the fallout from the war in Gaza continues to grow and Israel increases its threats to target Hamas members overseas. The latest detentions came on February the 2nd when 7 suspects were apprehended for allegedly selling information to Mossad. This came just weeks after Turkiye's interior minister said dozens of suspects had been detained across the country and were part of an Israeli operation to monitor and kidnap foreign nationals living in Turkiye. They were also accused of spreading false information and carrying out other illegal activities on behalf of Mossad. Shortly after Israel launched its attack on Gaza, officials threatened to hunt down Hamas members abroad, including in countries like Qatar, Lebanon, and Turkiye. Ankara has warned Israel of serious consequences if it were to target Hamas members in Turkiye. And now to discuss Turkey's crackdown on Mossad, joining me now from Jenin in the occupied West Bank is Osama Nazal. He is a political analyst. And from Ankara, Murat Aslan, an associate professor at Hasan Kalyoncu University. Gentlemen, welcome to Straight Talk. It's good to have you on the program. Murat, a Turkish court has handed out prison sentences of up to 26 years for 7 suspects accused of conducting espionage for Israel's Mossad. So could you walk us through how Turkey is reacting to the suspected activities of Mossad within its borders?
Neither of the countries on globe wants their land to be a playground for intelligence activities or intelligence organizations. That's crystal clear. And once you start it, the states will take countermeasures, first to identify who is doing what, and second thing, to repel them. On the other hand, there's another phase of this coin. It's what states usually conduct intelligence activities, especially in the countries that different ethnicities, different backgrounds are existent over there. And they see these people, first of all, as a potential source of gathering information, and second, conscription, or sometimes active intelligence efforts to do something, to prevent something, or to ignite something. So in this sense, Turkish intelligence successfully identified the individuals working for Mossad, and then Turkish police arrested them. And now we see that Mossad is really active in Turkey, and Turkish intelligence efforts are committed to prevent such sort of Mossad's presence in Turkey.
So, Osama, what do you make of the timing of these arrests, which came in the wake of Israeli threats to target Hamas members abroad following the deadly October 7 attacks on Israel?
First of all, I think we need to understand the context of the Israeli Mossad agency that was created since the start of the Israeli occupation to target Palestinians fighting for the freedom and for the liberation of their land. And we know how many Palestinian leaders were assassinated by the Israeli Mossad in the 70s and the 80s, the 90s, whether in Lebanon, Tunisia, and even in some foreign Western capitals. So the Israeli Mossad activities and their recruitment of espionage groups in Turkey is based on the history of this intelligence agency that from a Palestinian perspective, and I think from international legal perspective, is illegitimate. Why? Because it is created in order to kill people who are fighting for their freedom, for the liberation of their country. And acting in Turkey is, of course, a breach of the sovereignty of the state of Turkey, and it is a breach of the international law that bans states from having such acts on the grounds of other countries. So this is a violation of the dignity and of the law of the state of Turkey itself, and it is a violation of the international law. And people involved in such acts, of course, must be arrested and must be punished, but at the same time, the state itself, Israel, must be held accountable for allowing itself to have such practices on the land of the others, whether Turkey or other countries.
So, Murad, Israel wasn't shy about saying that they would go after Hamas in third countries, which included Türkiye, Qatar, and Lebanon. So what sort of diplomatic repercussions could we expect if Mossad were to carry out those threats?
Well, first of all, the laws of each country is valid. So once Mossad starts any attack targeting any Hamas official or any other, doesn't matter, well, we have to check the laws and regulations. It's a direct crime challenging the order of that country. On the other hand, once they realize it, as they did in Iran, just remember what happened in Iran, well, if they escape, then it's an incident to be investigated with no conclusion. On the other hand, once they are captured, they will be first questioned about their espionage activities, and second thing, the crime that they committed. The law is very clear in Turkey. Once Mossad starts any hunting phase of their operation, well, if they are captured like Turkish intelligence did it, well, they will be before the judge being questioned on anything that they do.
So, Mr. Nazal, you're from the West Bank. Can you tell us about the tactics of Mossad and how they operate in places like the occupied territories?
Yeah, the Israeli occupation government has two intelligence agencies. The Mossad, yes, that is working on the external arena, like you mentioned there, a group in Turkey, for example, the assassination activities in Lebanon and other countries, and in occupied territory, Israel has the Shin Bet, which is the internal Israeli intelligence agency that, of course, is responsible for the murder of not hundreds, really thousands of Palestinians, as they're targeting any Palestinian activist or any Palestinian. They claim that he or she is threatening their occupation of the Palestinian territory. Of course, the Palestinians here are freedom fighters for the liberation of their country and the liberation of their land, but the Shin Bet agency, of course, assassinating them and killing them and practicing all forms and all patterns of torture. The Shin Bet here is responsible for the torture and for the killing of many Palestinian prisoners. Just over the last 4 months, the Shin Bet killed 9 Palestinian prisoners inside the Israeli prison. So yes, they are playing the same role that the Mossad is playing, but the Mossad is for the foreign world, yes, and the Shin Bet specialized here, the occupied land.
So, Murad, among those detained was a member of the FETÖ terror organization. What does this tell us about the strength of this organization and its alleged ties with Israel?
All terrorist organizations enjoy the support of the other intelligence services. That's a fact. Once you deprive of such support, that means you are a short run, not that much effective, etc. In this sense, FETÖ and Mossad, or Israelis, any institution, well, we know that they are in close touch with each other because their tactics, their intelligence capacities, their operations are almost on the same page and in the same line. On the other hand, there is one thing, such sort of relationship indicates that FETÖ was an apparatus for maybe Mossad. We don't have any proof or data on it. And they were targeting Turkey then. So it's another phase that both countries will talk to each other of what they are doing and what challenges, what responses would be committed to Israel. So there must be such sort of intelligence diplomacy behind the doors discussing such issues, I believe.
So, Osama, this is not the first time Turkish officials have cracked down on people suspected of working with the Israeli intelligence. Back in 2023, 15 people were caught spying for Mossad. So is there an ongoing intelligence war between the two countries? And what does this tell us about the shape of relations?
Yes, of course, as long as Israel is determined to continue its occupation, its illegal and illegitimate occupation of the Palestinian territories, its intelligence agency is going to continue targeting the Palestinian leaders and the Palestinian freedom fighters wherever they go. Even the Palestinian scientists are sometimes targeted by the Israeli intelligence outside of Palestine, because Israel has a plan to destroy all the aspects of life of the Palestinian people, not only those who are active in the military wing of the Palestinian factions or the political wing, but also the Palestinian scientists, especially those who are specialized in physics and chemistry, are targeted by the Israeli intelligence agency. And it is the duty of Turkey, of course, and any other state involved in such issue must hold the Israeli government and the Israeli state accountable for that. And of course, such acts are punishable by the international law.
So, Murat, Turkey has uncovered a string of espionage networks in recent years and thwarted a plot by Iran to assassinate Israeli citizens in Turkey. So can we say Turkey in some way has become an important country where Iran and Israel are waging intelligence wars?
If you check the history of intelligence, Turkey has always become a playground for all intelligence services, either to practice or sometimes start an operation. And that's why Iran and Israel usually observed each other on the land of Turkey and start sometimes a counteract. But the duty of Turkish intelligence services is to prevent both countries and play in this field on their own initiative, but take measures. Why? Once they do it, first of all, Turkey will lose something. That's what? Tourism. In each incident they started, Turkey will lose some sort of economic income. The second issue, once any country starts any intelligence operation, the citizens of the other countries will not feel themselves safe here in Turkey, including Turkish citizens. Yes. So for the order, for the law and regulations, it's a duty for Turkish intelligence to stop it. But let me remind you one thing as a last sentence. Israel, well, Turkey intelligence service captured some, but is successful. Whatever happens in Palestine, whatever happens in Gaza right now, well, they are not only by the hands of Israeli officers, but also Palestinians. Then we can say that they are successful in conscripting local individuals. That's another fact we have to observe.
All right, gentlemen, we'll have to leave it here. Thank you very much for joining me on Straight Talk.